Welcome everybody to Smell It Sunday, my secondary channel, which is called Aromatically Speaking, my main channel, the Candle Enthusiast. It's been a couple weeks since I've gone live. Usually we try to keep this a show that goes live every Sunday at 2 p.m. Standard Eastern Time or New York City time. But I've been absent for a couple days, or a couple weeks. I will address that. Those of you who are new and joining in for the first time, this is a show where we go live. It's casual, and we talk about candles, yes, but we also talk about aromatics. We talk about the holidays, the seasons, things that make us feel nostalgic. And speaking of nostalgia, I lived out in California a while. A lot of you know that, and I miss the snow. I really, really miss the snow. And I want to thank everyone who's joining in already. I see that you guys are trickling in. And I didn't get to see snow for all of this time. And I am officially, I was going to go to Lowe's this morning. I was going to go to Lowe's, but I was legitimately snowed in. And I don't know how you guys feel about that. I love the snow. I love the snow. I love the cold. I love having hot beverages and having an overexposed window behind me. That didn't really go to my plan. I will fix the lighting outside that window. But we have the scenic scape right here. Let me pull you guys up here. And I'm a little rusty. I feel a little rusty because I've been gone for so long. Not just on this channel, but even my main channel. Again, we'll talk about that. And then we're going to talk about something really kind of interesting and something that I just keep forgetting to bring up. A Starbucks contest. That's right. A contest that involves art, Starbucks, coffee, or the love of coffee, and your artistic abilities. I think this will be something fun to do and something to change things up just a little bit. We gained some subscribers since the last time. And what else does it say in the headline? It says, live Starbucks snowed in and my father. That's going to be the wild card topic. I want to address my father. As you know, I'm very private with my family life, just my life in general, my private life in general. I don't really share a lot of information, but I do want to speak briefly about my father, and hopefully maybe you could take away something about my relationship with my father, whether you can relate. But yeah, you know, as things go on with me on YouTube, I'm feeling more and more comfortable with sharing personal information, and a perfect time to talk about my dad. So here's the video. Got you guys pulled up. Let me lower the volume, and lots of familiar folks joining in. Thank you so much. I know it's a big football day. So I appreciate you joining in. And Rihanna, chiming in first in the chat section. Rihanna sent me a wonderful package all the way from Holland last time I was live, and it was chocked full of goodies, not souvenirs, but beautiful trinkets, books. She shared a lot about herself. It was a wonderful experience. You can go back in the playlist and check out that unboxing. It was quite fun. I got a few things to open up. And Nikki is in the house as well. If I move just slightly out of the way, right there. If you guys don't know, Nikki has a very successful, but also brand new, I would consider a brand new candle company, and she's making outrageous aromatics, man. Let me tell you. Now, from the label design to the actual functioning of the candle, the burn, and the intensity, But what really gets my heart about her company, which is called Washington Wicks, is that it's the concepts. That's what my real fascination with candles really are. It's really about, what is the candle about? What is this candle trying to tell me? What story is it trying to share? We have, I would go through everybody, but I want to pick out a few people because my correspondence has been bad. Jordan, I got your Instagram message. I would read it. I can maybe read it if you don't mind. I won't do it now, but I haven't responded and I feel terrible, but definitely a nice message sent to me via Instagram, and you know, it's stuff like that that really not just keeps me fueled up artistically, but truly makes me a happier person. And Nancy is in the house. Nancy, you also sent me a message, and I haven't gotten a chance to respond. And I actually have a card from Nancy right here that I haven't opened yet. I'm guessing it might be a birthday card. I got it a long time ago. The card was on time. I just have been saving it to open it live. I haven't left the house since Friday night. Definitely snowed in Chicago. Yeah, it's amazing how all different parts of the country are experiencing so many different circumstances from this storm. And not only that, but it was like raining in California. It's not supposed to do that. It was raining in California last week, and also very, very warm as I hear it. Oh, and Nikki's pointing out Bigfoot. I didn't know if you could see it, but Bigfoot is there from Bigfoot Coffee Roasters. Yes, I want to put all these things out on display, the wonderful things that you guys send me in the mail, and I just always forget to put it out. I've really been working on the room, or the studio. It used to be my office, but I've been working on the studio. Only YouTube live streams, you have no manual control over the exposure, and that's why that window is completely blown out, meaning it's overexposed, and there's no way I can test it without just doing a live video. All right. And it's going to be the Patriots versus the Saints for this Super Bowl Sunday. I just don't follow football. If I ever follow a sport, it's going to be baseball. But I pick certain years. And I'll be honest, my generation, 1995, we lost Don Mattingly in the New York Yankees. I grew up, my family's just in the area, so we've always been Yankee fans. And I had no control over this. It wasn't a choice. But Don Mattingly was my big hero growing up on the New York Yankees, and then Derek Jeter, again being a part of the team in '96, winning the World Series, and then now with just that generation gone, I just can't find the time or the interest to sit down and watch baseball. And football, honestly, I don't even think I know all the rules to football. I really don't. Like, sometimes they'll say something. I'll watch the Super Bowl, for the halftime show and stuff. But they'll say something during a football game. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. What I do know is that there was an amazing haunted theme park called Spooky World that existed in Foxborough by the Patriots Stadium for a few years in the late 90s. That's my experience with football. Okay. What do we start with first? And then, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what I've been doing. If you want to call this a hiatus, since I haven't been around as much, you can call it that. But I've been producing YouTube videos 2.5 years, and this is by far the longest time I've ever stopped. I usually at least have a video out a week, but Man, I'm telling you, it's sometimes, you know, you lose your point of view, your what you're trying to pull off. And I think I needed this time to disconnect and some reflection. So this is a card from my dear friend Nancy Martinez, and Nancy and I had a great little meetup. God, it's been a long time now. It feels like it was yesterday. But the card says, Shane, do what makes you happy today. This is perfect. Do what makes you happy today. This is exactly what I am going through as far as what is 2009 going to be for me, personally, but also what I'm going to do with this channel, my artistic goals. Do what makes you happy today. Already this card is telling me fantastic advice. And keep doing it all year long. And I've already said 2019, I'm addressing this year specifically. 2019 is going to be a big year for me, one way or the other. I hope that all of your birthday wishes come true in 2019. Have a wonderful birthday. Love, Nancy. Nancy, I'm going to throw that love right back at you. Not like I'm giving it back. I'm sharing the love. I'm giving it to you. Thank you so much. Nancy doesn't miss a heartbeat. She's been a supporter of my work, all of my videos, the candle evaluations, my travels, and she's just the sweetest person in the world. I also got a postcard from Germany. Okay, so this is a really interesting story. Some of you may even be familiar with Claudine. Claudine is I believe she's German, but she lives in Germany, and she has her own blog. And if Country at Heart, which is her YouTube name and her blog name, if she's in the house, please make sure you link yourself up. But it was the weirdest thing. I've known Claudine via my videos and her commenting on my videos through live videos, and she just on vacation was in New England, traveling to different places that I traveled to. She went to Stockbridge, the Red Lion Inn. She went to I don't know if she made it to Sleepy Hollow, but she wanted to go to Kringle Candle and the Yankee Candle Village, and it just so happened it was a slow day at the Yankee Candle Village in South Deerfield, and I was filming my annual Christmas evaluation video. And seriously, she had no idea I was going to be there, and we just bumped into each other. And she introduced herself, and we had this fantastic conversation. I never really have a chance to talk with any of you guys. I feel like I've known some of you guys for years. I have, but a lot of us haven't met. So she sent me a picture. I look terrible. I look like a very creepy fellow. But Claudine, very charming, very beautiful young lady, standing next to me there. We are at the Yankee Candle Village. And she had this printed up. I mean, this is a real postcard. And it says, my highlights 2018. Now, I'm guessing she made this one specifically for me, I think. But I want to thank Claudine, if you're listening, from the East Coast, or we're not, New York's not New England. I consider it New England, but from New England to Munich. Thank you so much, and it was a very special conversation we had. And look, Jordan's saying I follow her on Instagram, so please do that. Country at Heart. Country at Heart. Now, her videos and her blogs are in German. So it's still interesting to watch her videos, and her photographs are amazing on Instagram. It's worth following her, I'm telling you. She's far better than me, and I went to film school. But a lot of you speak German. I don't know, a lot of you, some of you. I'm gonna see if we can get Claudine to collaborate somehow with the Candle Enthusiast. And Jordan says, I like the beard, by the way. I always grow mine out in the winter too. I always get mixed reactions. I know, why am I talking about my beard? But thank you, Jordan. I can't do the sharp line. I have a very Irish, I don't know if that's right, but I am 50% Irish. But I have like the chops that go into the goatee. It's just, you have to mix things up. You have to mix things up, especially the hair. The hair is starting to get really long now and out of control, but I'm embracing the weirdness. Also, I'm wearing a flannel shirt with like this very unmatching, unappealing undershirt that's green. But I'm just gonna go with it. What else do we have? All right, so this is not a sponsored video. I'm not being paid to say anything I'm about to tell you or show you. But I received a request from a company called Viter Energy. Viter Energy, that's right. And Viter Energy is a company out of Memphis, Tennessee that produces vitamin-enriched breath mints. They asked me if I would do an unboxing and a taste test of their mints. And I said, oh yeah, I get coffee breath going all the time. No shame in that, but you gotta be conscious of what what the aromatics experience is going on in your mouth, because I'm telling you, it's the first thing that turns me off. I'm sure a lot of people off is when people have that bad breath. Speaking of bad breath, Elsa, my puppy, my Maltese, she's finally starting to get her teeth brushed. Or not brushed, but cleaned. Because she's got these pearly whites. I want to make sure they stay that way. All right, so do we have any instructions? All right, so this is what they sent. No, they sent more. Okay, so this, which is, I'll talk about it. It says dietary supplement, 3 pieces. So 4 units of that. I'll talk about that. And this tin, and this receipt is saying $4.99. Actually, no, just the mints are $4.99. Now, I'm not judging that, but that's that's pretty expensive, wouldn't you say, for some mints? But it is enriched with vitamins. But how do they put it? I always tell people to send appropriate information about the product if I'm going to plug it, and they didn't send anything. It's still being positive, Viter Energy. We're friends. This says Viter Energy spearmint flavor. That's probably the one I would buy if I saw this in a store. Dietary supplement, boosts energy, and freshens breath. Sugar-free, 20 pieces, 0.63 ounces or 18 grams. No sugar, but there is sugar alcohol for those of you who have IBS. And vitamin B6, we have 210% of our daily value. And vitamin B12, 880%. Wait a minute, 880% of our daily vitamin B12 dosage in one mint. This is insane. Ingredients, caffeine, that's kind of cool. Caffeine, artificial flavors, pretty much what you normally see. But it does say product made in Canada, but it's sold out of Tennessee. Very interesting, very interesting. This is Best by May 2020. So let's get I feel like you guys are here, and I don't even show you what I'm doing. Let me open this up. I'm terrible at unboxings. Not that this is really an unboxing, but I'm just so terrible. So this is got a lot of B vitamins. So it really is about the energy here. The energy. That really smells, I know this is, you're gonna think this just sounds stupid, but this really smells like spearmint. I mean, the spearmint is in the ingredients, obviously. Well, not obviously, it could always be fake spearmint. But what's interesting is that, you know, this is not like Wrigley's a double mint gum or spearmint gum, for that matter. And what I mean by that is like a sweetened, sugar-fied gum or breath mint. This really smells like, you can't smell sweetness, but I wouldn't perceive by smelling this that these would be really that sweet. It really smells like I just ripped open a spearmint leaf and smelled it, and I like that. I like that. Jelly Belly Bean was it Bean Boozled? There was a jelly bean flavor that was grass, and it's supposed to be like a disgusting flavor. I loved it. I love like herbaceous, earthy, greenage flavors. So let's see how it tastes. So it's very sweet, and you can tell that it's an artificial sweetness. And I would say in a minty scale, like a level, it's nowhere near an Altoid. It's about halfway of an Altoid. Like I could probably drink ice water at this point, and it wouldn't hurt. You know how that would hurt if you like chewed an Altoid and drink water? It's too much cooling. But it is very minty. And it's got a very coarse texture. But remember, we're getting vitamins in the body here. This is not just about freshening the breath. Can you hear the noises I'm making with my mouth? Is that gross? All right, I'm going to speed this up. Increase the surface area. We did this test in 9th grade in earth science. We're going to increase the surface area of this mint by chewing it. And it'll dissolve faster. We did an earth science Jeopardy. I remember in high school, 9th grade, I think it was every Friday, we split the class into 2 groups, and we do a Jeopardy game. And I remember we got down to like the tournament finals, and it was all on my shoulders. I was asked the question by Mr. Cunningham. Some geology question that I have no idea. What's weird about that is I later studied geology in college, but I was terrible at earth science in high school. He asked me some question, and my response to the question, my final answer, the only thing I could muster up, the answer to his geology question, I said earth science. That was my answer. I got a laugh, but I ruined it for everybody on my team. So it's pretty much dissolved. That's a very tasty mint. You know, after I've been drinking coffee. I don't eat sweet, so I'm sensitive to sweet things. It doesn't taste that sweet anymore. Like it tasted way more sweet when I first put it in. I feel like maybe the coating, the outside coating of this mint had the sweetening agent on it. Hey man, if this has 880% of my daily value of vitamin B12, isn't that bad? And I have that. It's a good fresh breath. I would be ready to talk to someone like this. You know when you have like something that's really sweet. I used to eat certs when I was a kid. Quick hello everyone. Doug from Spooky Villages. Doug is in the house. Thank you, Doug. Just saying a quick hello. He's probably so confused if he's just joining in. All of you are probably confused if you joined it from the beginning, I'm doing a taste test on mints. Very good. I mean, $4.99 is a big price point. These are available. Look, I'm not supposed to, they're supposed to provide me with this information, but I did my homework. These are available on Amazon, and I think if the more you buy, the cheaper they are. Jody's saying she takes B12 tablets, which is great. But if you want it to combine the breath mints with your vitamin B intake, this might be something that will interest you. You get 20 tablets. You can get them on Amazon, and they come in a bunch of different flavors. And remember, it's got caffeine too. That's interesting. I've been drinking a lot of coffee today, so I don't think it's going to affect me at all. Give me 1 second. And then we're going to change the topic. Did that do anything? It's a little bit better. It's still way overexposed. I just had to dim this sun a little bit. I'm addicted to Spearmint Eclipse gum, says Horror Queen Laura. You know, I recently, I used to chew. I'm sorry for the tedium of these conversations, but bear with me. I haven't talked to anybody all day, so I'm just having a casual conversation with you. We'll get to the aromatics in a second. But what was I going to say? Oh, in college, I used to live every day by one rule. And that rule was to have a pack of Dentine Fire, cinnamon gum, Dentine Fire in my pocket. I loved it. It was spicier than, it seemed like it was spicier than Big Red. It seemed like it wasn't as sweet, and I felt like the flavor lasted forever. But I haven't had Dentine Fire probably in 13 years. And right after Christmas, I was driving down to the airport, New York City. I was driving down to New York City on New Year's Eve. And I stopped off and I got a pack of gum because my sister-in-law wanted some gum, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get Dentine Fire. I chewed it for a couple minutes, and I'm just not a gum person anymore. I thoroughly did not, it was the flavor, but I thoroughly did not enjoy the gum chewing experience. I have TMJ, that might have a little bit to do with it. And Lars saying, I love cinnamon gum. How about this? And I'm sure that it exists, but why isn't there a cinnamon ice cream? Think about that for a second. A cinnamon gelato. Like cinnamon and honey, like honey nut Cheerios. Well, not honey nut Cheerios, there's no cinnamon and honey nut Cheerios, but almost like I'm always saying spearmint ice cream. Peppermint ice cream I love, and I think it's the most underrated ice cream. But what about cinnamon ice cream? It would taste like a really cold bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That kind of sounds gross, but not really. Cinnamon gelato, yeah. Nancy says, oh my God, I have TMJ too since high school. I got it really bad. I have it really, it will be a significant problem later in my life. Both sides crack every single time I open my mouth. So when, we ever have the pleasure of having dinner or lunch together and I'm chewing, you're gonna hate me. Especially if you have, what's it called, misophonia. Annoyed by sounds, you guys are going to hate me by the time we get done with lunch or dinner, because it's the most disturbing clicking sound in my jaw. Big crock cheddar soup bowl I'm going to eat. Notice how Doug says, it's not. He's not gonna. He's not gonna like have it for dinner with his family. Doug personally is going to have his own broccoli cheddar soup. Um, Save me a bowl, would you, Doug? If I just happen to make it out to you. I had a girlfriend once who used that as an excuse. The TMJ or the broccoli cheddar soup. It works for either one. I can imagine both scenarios. Ooh, we're starting to pick between teams. That can't end well. Let's see what you guys are saying. Just got home from Massachusetts, and now I'm sitting in front of a little electric heater. It's 31 here in Tennessee. 31? Well, I guess for Tennessee, that's... Well, Tennessee can get pretty cold in certain areas, obviously. 31, that's pretty good. There's all temperatures across the board for tomorrow in the Northeast, but with wind chill, we're expecting some places up to minus 25 Fahrenheit with wind chill. Insane. I love it though. I love it. I would, honestly, if somebody challenged me, and I'd say it's not even a challenge because I'd volunteer to do it. If I didn't have like anything to do, and someone said, take a tent out into the woods and battle the snow, the ice, the sleet, and the negative degree temperature weather, I would do it, and I would have a blast. Is that weird? I love the cold. I don't like to die from the cold. I don't want to freeze to death, but as long as, I have the proper clothing, a hot beverage, I love it. I love the snow. I love being snowed in. Being snowed in is just a perfect excuse for just not having to do anything. You can put something on Netflix, or spend some time catching up on emails. And speaking of catching up, Candle Cafe Anthony is in the house. Anthony, we have to catch up, buddy, and Doug too. Doug, myself, Brett from Philly Candleman, and Anthony from Candle Cafe. We kind of just had a lot of fun of just like kind of chatting on Facebook Messenger. It really was cool because here we are all on YouTube, and a lot of you guys who watch me will watch Anthony, and vice versa, or Doug and Brett. But we are legitimately friendly with each other and have so much in common, and it's just really cool. It's just really cool that I found Anthony before I had the Candle Enthusiast, and now he's a buddy. So hello, Anthony. Everyone, just make sure you say hello. And Nicole, I love how your avatar is Jasmine. Nicole, have you seen any of the teaser trailers for the live action Aladdin? And if you have, or if you haven't, do you approve? I know Eric wouldn't approve. He doesn't like these remakes, and I definitely understand that. But I know Nicole has a fascination with Jasmine. Curious to see what you have to say. And if you guys ask me a question and I miss it, I won't get mad. Ask it again, because I really am. It's bad. Sometimes these comments don't come in chronological order. So sometimes I'm reading something that was happening 15 minutes ago. Makes no sense. Jordan says, I've been finding some crazy candles lately. I bought Ghostly Treats, a medium jar, 2 Witches Brew with the skeleton face. I don't want to do that. I don't want to pretend like I'm showing you up. but I want to show everyone what you purchased. Yeah, I saw that on the Facebook fan group, Jordan, and I don't know if you're getting these on eBay, but the ghostly treats, I'm telling you, I'll be willing to battle anybody in a debate. The hardest Yankee candle to find out of all scents, unless we're talking about something that's been retired for 20 years, is easily Ghostly Treats. It was released in 2000, not 13, 14. It was released in 2013. And it looks like this. It had a 360-degree label of this graveyard with ghosts, ghouls, twisted tombstones, gnarly trees. We have a raven on that tree. This is a marshmallow based candle, and it's just, it's not even that it's expensive when you find it. You just can't find it. I had, you know how on eBay you can put in a search and it'll automatically search for it for you, and if something pops up, like keywords, it'll notify you. Well, for 12 months, I had a whole bunch of saved requests for eBay to notify me if Ghostly Treats, the jar, popped up. And in 12 months, not even one popped up. So it's not that it goes for a lot of money, it's just they made so few of them, and they're just not around. Jordan got his hands on one, so congratulations. And he got a Witch's Brew that I think this look was sent to TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Marshalls, so on and so forth, I think on several different years. This was also released in a soy wax blend, small tumbler as a Simply Home candle, but it's the Skele-Lantern. That's what I call it. Not a jack-o'-lantern, but a Skele-Lantern. Very opaque black jar of Witch's Brew, the classic sweet and spicy patchouli fragrance that I adore. And this is an awesome one because when the wick gets down there, those eyes and the mouth light up just like a jack-o'-lantern. But I don't think Jordan is going to be burning those, if I had to guess. But if you do, go for it. You only live once. And I see, this is what I mean. I lost my place. Okay, and see, it just jumped on me. Love the label of Ghostly Treats. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's not even a label. This is, you can scratch. You see how it's like scratched? I mean, this is actually like a painted jar. It's painted white, and this is a printed decal. Like, this is not a sticker. I could scratch this off if I really tried. It would not do that. And the story behind Ghostly Treats, just in case anyone is interested, and I can't confirm this, but this is let's say the source from this story is a very reliable source. The reason why this did not get a large production, and the reason why it was poorly made aesthetically, look at that scratching. Nearly every one I've ever seen has this horrible scratching on the bottom, was because this candle was originally going to be called, does anybody know? Marshmallow Man. Just think of Ghostbusters, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, right? So they were going to do a Marshmallow Man theme, and whether it be lawyers, whether it be that they couldn't get the approval, not that they were looking for a license, but they had to change the concept and the look of the candle at the last minute because they couldn't, for whatever reason, couldn't clear that name Marshmallow Man, so it became Ghostly Treats. So that's a really interesting story, and if it's not true, that's a really original story. But like I said, that comes from a great source. You know, it was interesting. I went to a Hallmark several years ago. This is 2000. Well, wait a minute. It was only a year ago. It was 2017. I was in a Hallmark, and there were 2 ghostly treats on the counter for sale. Remember, they came out in 2013. And so I casually walk up to the owner of the shop, and I said, tell me about this candle, this ghostly treats. And she's like, well, it's a new candle by Yankee Candle. I'm like, it's made in 2013. I'm very familiar with this candle. She's like, yeah, okay, we put away candles we don't sell, and we put them out. So they hadn't sold it in all those years. They had 2 of them. I bought them for $20 each. Yeah. I just, I wish I had held on to them. But so I could actually burn one, because my ghostly treats that I had lit, I bought 2 of them when it first came out. It's gone, so I won't light that one. I'll never burn ghostly treats again unless they bring it back. Everyone's saying bye, Costa. So I'm guessing Costa is leaving. It's beautiful. George says it's beautiful. Best Halloween. I think he said meant scent ever. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That would be my worry if someone like dropped a lot of money on it and didn't like it. It is a very low intensity smell. It's not necessarily when you burn it. It actually has some power to it. At least it did when it was released. But it's not like a knock you out fragrance. It's a very, very soft, gooey marshmallow, but not toasted. I always say marshmallow fluff, or like the marshmallow syrup that you would put on a sundae. I never put marshmallow syrup on there, but I have tried marshmallow syrup, or the syrup that goes into like something like a Rocky Road. It tastes like that. Holly Wax, Doug, you're very welcome. Thanks for dropping in. Ghostly Treats was better than Campfire Treats, in my opinion. I agree. I'm full agreement with you, Eric. And it's not because of the scarcity of Ghostly Treats. I just found that it smelled better. It was for my personal taste, but it just really. I had mine in my bathroom in California, and I always say that, and it was a very small space, but it just was really intense. We should probably move on. I want to make sure I see all the comments here. Again, if I missed a question, don't be bashful. Please post it again until I read it, unless it's an inappropriate question. I may like candy corn a tad more than it, scent-wise. Well, with that said, Jordan, if you're looking for a candy corn, you probably have, but make sure you check out Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat is the swirl candle that they don't make anymore. It was candy corn and buttercream, and to me that was always my favorite. Like I like that better than candy corn, because candy corn, it just was so. No matter how many ways I would try to burn it and alter the length of the wick and the temperature and the humidity, I could never get candy corn to really pump out a massive smell. I would even like burn 3 at a time, and I just couldn't do it. And it just simply was a characteristic of the scent. I hope they never discontinue White Christmas and All Is Bright. Nancy, is Anthony still here? Anthony, I don't think he'll mind, notorious for not liking White Christmas and Witch's Brew. White Christmas, one of the more beautiful labels, in my opinion, for a Christmas Yankee Candle. But some people do, our noses are all different, and some people perceive certain aromas in a different way. There was actually a discussion on the Candle Enthusiast Facebook fan group the other day about someone, I forget who it was, somebody smelled a candle and said it smelled like marijuana, pot. And it is interesting because, it's like my nose, whenever I smell certain kinds of varieties of sage, I'll get that cannabis smell. It's in a lot of things, and sometimes, especially if we have an association with a certain fragrance, can be a turnoff. So I have noticed, like, Christmas wreath, I won't use. Well, I'll use the word, but if you don't know the medical term, the biology term, you have to look it up. Cat urea. It's Christmas wreath to many people smells like cat urine. But then again, so does some of the greatest Sauvignon Blanc coming out of New Zealand. White Christmas, I think, is one of those that registers with some people as like a body odor smell. Not to ruin that on you, Nancy. I love White Christmas. White Christmas was really strong. I haven't burned it in a long time, but my older White Christmas, I remember burning it. It was intense. I mean, one of those kind of like balsam and cedar. Like, if you don't have a big like apartment or house or lofty ceilings, it can really be tremendously strong. And then All Is Bright I liked. But then again, a lot of people have the association. All Is Bright is like kind of it was a Christmas candle released for 2016, but it had a very New Year's look to it. And like sparks flying. But when I think of sparks, I think of sparkling wine, New Year's. And it was interesting, it had a very lemon, citrus, forward aroma. The problem is with that is a lot of people perceive that lemon zest aroma and they think of like Pledge furniture polish. So I've noticed that people don't sometimes like lemon aggressive fragrances. Jordan says, I have 2 candy corn silhouette jars. I'm about to order Trick or Treat with the holographic label. That's a good one. I love that one. That was one that also made it to Home Goods. I remember, God, that wasn't many years ago. I mean, you could find these things, like those hologram labels. You could find them for like $5. I think I got it at Home Goods or Marshall's. One of the two. What's the screensaver? What is it called? Everyone's always asking, and I'm finally going to do this. So you have to have an Apple TV. Apple TV is, other than my cell phone and my cameras, is probably the most essential part of my life. My family too. But Apple TV has, the Apple or App Store, and this one's called, I forget the name of the company, but it's called Peaceful Snowfall HD. And if you purchase it, you have different screensavers. And to me, they really look real. They have one for every season. I love the autumn one. And you can adjust the speed and the amount of the snow or the leaves in autumn. It's really cool. So definitely, if you have an Apple TV, spend, I think it's like a couple bucks for it. And I see a good question here. Mags, how do I date my black band? Oh man, okay, so I keep telling myself that I'm gonna learn this, but there's only one person that I know knows this answer. It's a very good question. In 2008, Yankee Candle had they put a barcode that has the 2 digits of the year, so you can date. So that's how when you look under the jar, this is 2013. But prior to 2008, they didn't establish that barcode yet. But there is still a way to decipher the year. But I think it changed. The method changed many times. And there's only one person, like I said, who knows that I know of who knows this. I'll just say one of the long time passionate Yankee Candle employees from the Yankee Candle Village. Just a stock manager. I won't give him, out him or say his name, but he's always there at Yankee Candle if you bump into him, and he apparently knows the answer, but it's not like you can just tell real quick. The better thing to do is start looking at the jars, and if you know what year that fragrance is in production, and then you look at, because they always change the labels, little details, like the earliest black bands did not say our strongest scented candle. It just said house warmer jar. Or if you go back even further, these go into the 80s, the country kitchen, the only label the fragrance is a little white sticker there, and there's not even a barcode on the bottom, but there's subtle variations in the design of the jar that'll tip you off to how old it is. If you ever find a country kitchen candle, the black bands, the picture jars did not exist at this time. If you ever see one, instead of it saying Sal Deerfield, if it says New England, those are to my knowledge, the earliest apothecary jars produced by Yankee Candle. Most likely sold in South Hadley. There was a shop in South Hadley, Massachusetts, or the original factory location in Holyoke, Massachusetts. Lars says white sage smells like weed when it burns. Now I have white sage, but I've never lit it. And if I remember correctly, white sage, no, that was a Bath & Body Works candle. I was going to say the fragrance notes said desert sage, but that was a Bath & Body Works candle. And I still don't even know what desert sage is. But I'm trying to think of what Bath & Body Works candle that was. That was, oh God, I can't remember. Was it eucalyptus and sage? This is good too, and we'll move on. But you guys are, I love. I haven't talked about Yankee Candle in a long time, so this is very interesting for me. Carol says everyone seems to love balsam and cedar. Is the most sold scented candle in the history of the world. But there's a note in it that I just can't stand. Yes, Carol, I understand, and it kind of goes back to that Christmas wreath thing. I'm not saying balsam and cedar smells like cat urine necessarily, in my opinion, but if you really have a nose, a good nose, and you can really pick up very small nuances, yeah, I think people who have good noses really kind of pick up on those things. So don't look at it as that you don't like balsam and cedar. Look at it as that you have a pretty good nose, so you're picky. There's nothing wrong with not liking Yankee Candle's most successful candle. Uda Slim in the house. I wish Yankee Candle would produce sugary sweet snowfall again. Sugary sweet snowfall. That's been a long time. It feels like it's a long time. It's really not that long ago. And I don't have that. I don't think I ever did. And I don't know what it smells like. I'm guessing it smells like sugary sweet snowfall. I was burning that the other day, says Carol. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Nancy, how ironic that White Christmas would smell like that. Yeah, White Christmas, and of course on the label you see the I want to say majestic, but that really classic, beautiful New England steeple church, whatever you want to call it, whatever the appropriate word is. You see the church on the label, and again, maybe it's just too easy, but you think of incense, the myrrh and the frankincense, but it's very, very astringent. Again, you can't smell astringent, so I'm just kind of making it up here, but go with it. Astringent smelling, a conifer tree smell. Not so much in the cedar wood aspect, but more of the sap, the pine cone, the juniper berry, and the needle itself. Mags says, thank you, I will be really willing to bring it to the village. Mags, go for it. The problem is, as talented, I guess they're talented, but as kind as the folks are at the village, and some of them have been there for over 20 years, so some of the management, a lot of them don't know these questions. In fact, and I'm not like tooting my own whistle here, but because it's nothing to brag about, but sometimes they ask me about questions about the candles. Really, that's not like me trying to say like, oh, I know everything about Yankee Candle, but I'm surprised how little documentation and just general history of Yankee Candle, the company. Every now and then I'll find like a Yankee Candle old timer. It's a wonderful woman that works in the Yankee Candle Village, and last time I was speaking with her, she said the most wonderful thing. It was the most random sentence I've ever heard, and I immediately am like, I've always seen her there, but I never talked to her. She said, I used to be Santa's elf. And I'm like, what does that mean? You used to be Santa's elf. And apparently she's been with the company for 17 years at the Yankee Candle Village, and she used to play Santa's elf when Santa would come down in a helicopter every Christmas season. And she just told me these stories about when Mike Kittredge, the founder of Yankee Candle, was on site running the company, and she just got so emotional telling me like how beautiful the lighting of the Christmas tree ceremony was. To me, lighting the Christmas tree, you plug it in, but she was saying, no, it was so emotional, and it was a very, there's a sense of community and appreciation of what the mission of the Yankee Candle was, which was trying to recreate memories and nostalgia. Mike Kittredge, it's just a shame. He's, I don't want to alarm anyone, he's alive and well, but I just really wish I had the chance to have a conversation with the man, or perhaps even make a Yankee Candle documentary. But if you bring it to the village, they might not be able to help you out. But ask for, what you ask for? Just say, ask for Jeffrey. You have a question about an old Yankee Candle, and just go on a slow day. Ask for Jeffrey. Yes, the black bands do say Yankee Candle Company or Co. Yes, Nancy says, you know what gets me? Mango and tropical fruits. Never buy mango, says Nancy. Yes, that's not the first time I've heard that. Tropical fruits can have, I've heard, and I smell and I understand, but it doesn't affect me too much. Like if you ever had like Luau Party or Bahama Breeze or, what was it? Coconut pineapple fusion that came out a couple of years ago. I can't remember. Certain noses, I've noticed people detect like again a BO smell, which to me is authentic because I get that smell on tropical fruit. I don't really smell it as body odor, but it's what I smell on those candles. So to me, it's really authenticity. But there's nothing wrong with not liking a particular fragrance. And Jordan's saying, I can't do tropical either. And Carol's saying, thank you for calling those good, Shane. It's great. Carol likes balsam and cedar, but balsam and cedar in a candle. Well, there's a lot going on in that candle. There are some. This is a good transition, Stephanie. Thank you. Well, first of all, good to see you here. And this brings up a great point. I need to address this. There's some beautiful items in the new Yankee catalog. Great accessories. So I'm sure you guys know if you watched my main channel that I haven't talked. On December 26th every year, Yankee Candle puts out a preview of their spring collection. Usually it's 4 fragrances. I usually, for the past couple of years, well, I've always used to go and at least smell them, but since I've been doing the Candle Enthusiast, that's the video I really try to rush with, get that out as fast as possible. But I made a decision a while ago that I was going to skip, maybe I'll talk about them someday, but I wasn't going to hustle out of the house and on Christmas and skip being with family and produce a video. There's other folks out there who are talking about them. I actually just had a manager of Yankee Candle in northern New York call me and ask me, where's my spring video? She was waiting for it. And then I decided, after a lot of thought, a lot of consideration, just to skip the spring this year and let other people do it. And like I said, I really needed this break more than anything. Marshmallow Zap, hello Candle fans, hello Laura, thank you for joining in. Something I forgot to mention. I always love cleaning horse stalls because of fresh pine shaving smell. So nice. I was gonna act, it's funny about it. I was actually gonna post a short little video on Instagram of me at Lowe's. I was at Lowe's about a week ago, and I had some things cut for me at Lowe's. So I was gonna talk about the aromatics of how wonderful, in most cases, and the differences between something like a hardware store, how good it smells, but then Home Depot, a much bigger stuff, a conglomeration of different smells. And to me, is like, does it smell good, or is it an association, a comfort thing that we have with the smells of hardware store? I never burned Yankee Candle's 2x4, but I don't even think that's a silly idea. I think that I probably wouldn't call it 2x4, but I would certainly be interested in burning that. So I forgot about these. So these are just other flavors of the mints. So there's 3 in each. Caffeinated breath mints, just in case anyone's interested in these. I definitely recommend. And there's a website. It says Go Viter, as in Viter Energy, goviter.com. But I would just stay going. Amazon chocolate mint. cinnamon flavor, spearmint winter green. Shonda says, totally off topic, but the window behind you, is it real? Because if it isn't, I want one. It looks terrible right now, Shonda, but thank you. I was saying this earlier, it's overexposed, meaning there's just too much. I can't adjust manually when I do these lives, the video, so it's overexposed. There's too much sunlight, but that is a fake. I don't like to call it fake. I like to call it a window. These windows back here head outside. They look out to the outdoors, but this window is the window of mystery, fantasy, make-believe. Anything can happen outside that window. And I always wanted to do this with my office. This is my way of it's my way of paying homage to Pee-wee's Playhouse. Remember the window, they would talk. Oh yeah, Nancy's mentioning this. I have to change it because it's an autumn canvas that I did buy at the Yankee Candle Village. It's cropped. The full painting is actually bigger, but it's a canvas, and I just need to swap it out. As you can see, I'm trying to get this studio, this room in order so I can really customize it. I got like zip ties right here. It's just so sloppy. But I want to customize it every time I go live or film a video. So it is a fake window. Not fake. Fantasy window. But it just leads into another space. Just tuned in. Diane, is it Riser? Riser? I can't pronounce last names. Okay. I just want to make sure everything. Tractor Supply smells like horse feed and leather and metal. So, is everybody familiar with Adam Savage? From MythBusters, the redhead. Adam Savage. If you just are familiar with him through the MythBusters, check out Tested.com or the YouTube channel Tested. He's like, I can't call him a hero, but what is the word? It's just, I admire the man so much. He's just very, he's got a very similar mind to me, only much more successful and organized. But I can listen to the guy speak all day, and I just one day tweeted out, asked him if we were to make an Adam Savage scented candle, what would it smell like? And he responded, and it was really cool. It was really nice that have a shout out or have him answer. I don't always get starstruck, but like I said, I really admire the man. And I can't remember what it said, but it said something like that. It was like something like oil and leather and smoke. It was interesting, but it was a very garage workshops profile. So it was kind of cool that he didn't just blow off my question. And Jordan says he is a genius. I would say that. Adam Savage makes good cosplay costumes. It's so much fun. If you don't know Tested, the YouTube channel, it's I don't know what you really call it. Tested. It's not just hosted by Adam Savage. There's several different hosts that cover different categories. They talk about tech. They talk about special effects, makeup. But Adam Savage does these incredibly long one-day builds. Like there'll be like an hour-long video of him just in his workshop, just him making stuff. And yes, he makes like costumes. And I love that because that's what I've always done my whole life. Every day I found myself in a garage somewhere, making something, building something, sculpting something, crafting something. And especially props and special effects. Sean Murphy Journal. Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman, you mean? He's also a dramatic actor. Yeah, he is. I wish he had done more roles, dramatic roles. Oh, wait a minute, man. Someone sent Obsessed. You said, this is not good. This is not good. Okay. I just want to make sure. Okay, why would you, who said that? Where'd you guys go? Someone said R.I.P. Paul. Sent Obsessed. And you just scared the bejesus out of me. Because I totally missed the Penny Marshall thing, and that broke my heart. The Scent of the Year sounds interesting. I haven't been following that. Like, what does that mean? Did they explain it anywhere? I'm not bashing Yankee Candle. I'm not saying anything negative, but it's just like, I don't have the patience. It's like, what, I mean, fragrance of the year, like, is it a new fragrance of the year? Is it like a returning favorite? Is it something that's been retired for many years? Scent of the year. And who's deciding? Like, there's so many ways to make that very intriguing and interesting. And I explain it. Same thing with Candle Power, Yankee Candle. Explain what you're doing. When you just open Twitter and you see a picture of Gwen Stefani holding a Yankee Candle, you want answers, and they don't give it to you. You have to do like research, and even then you don't. Always know. And Scent Obsessed is saying, my bad, sorry, false alarm. I'll forgive you, Scent Obsessed, but you really had my heart thumping there for a second. And I meant that sincerely. I'm not mad, but he just scared me. I saw Pee Wee Herman, or Paul Rubens, when I was very, very young. Remember James Way? Has anyone ever shot by James Way? Lauren, excuse me, said Scent of the Year bores me, sadly. It's just confusing. It's confusing. I legitimately stopped following. I'll catch up, but the labels, the returning favorites, what used to be treasures became returning favorites, and what it's a different name now, different labels. I just, whew, man, come on, people. It's just, they're just candles, Yankee Candle, I get that, but man. Is Yankee old news to you, says Synopsis? Definitely not. Definitely not. I just think that Yankee Candle is going through some growing pains, and again, I don't want to make it sound like I'm some freak that knows everything about Yankee Candle, but I at least knew this. Yankee Candle makes decisions years ahead of schedule. So I didn't necessarily know the labels were changing when that happened in 2017, but you know, I knew there was changes coming, and they've been talking about changing the storefronts to more of like a Kringle candle look. You know, more furniture and you know, putting some of the candles away in the back so that not every inch of the place is covered in candles. I mean, have it more darkly lit like White Barn. They've been talking about this since like 2011, 2012. It's confirmed in 2013. How did I know this? They invite and fly in regional managers to South Deerfield for a party. I don't know how much the frequency is, but it's at least once a year, and it's kind of like they give them like a briefing on all of the plans for Yankee Candle. So some managers at Yankee Candle kind of confided in me to share this information that they're not supposed to. But I remember hearing stuff about the stores changing, and then the Yankee Candle was purchased by Newell Brands, which I don't think anyone saw that coming. So am I burned out of Yankee Candle? No. They're just going through a phase right now that is just, it's hard for Yankee Candle fanatics. But honestly, Newell Brands, if I had to guess, they probably don't really care about hardcore fans. How many hardcore Yankee Candle fans are there in the world? Not nearly as many as casual customers who walk by Yankee Candle, walk in, spend $100 and leave. Yankee Candle, in my opinion, I think they're really just, they're not trying to cater to the lovers of the company. I think they're just trying to say, you know, if we have to create a whole new fan base, let's just do it and embrace it. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. I'm always going to talk about Yankee Candle. I'm not getting tired. I did need a break though. Scent Obsessed is asking, what are my top candle picks for 2019? I have not, purposely, have not visited a Yankee Candle since mid-December. Purposely. I really needed a break. So I apologize, but I can't. Oh, other than Yankee. I'm still working on a lot of Christmas candles. A lot of companies sent me not just 1 or 2 candles, but like 7, 8 candles. Very generous. And I did film a lot of evaluations for them. I just haven't edited them. So I'm really still in winter mode, which is normal. I don't burn spring candles until it gets warm. What's a good answer to that? I'm really just finding these small companies. I'm gonna be putting out a video of a company. It's called Asia Luna. I think they're Asia Luna Soap on Instagram. Look them up. It's a husband and wife team. They make primarily soap, but they make body sprays and lotions and lip balm, hair products, and they do it all in their house. It's just they're the sweetest people in the world, and their products are amazing. So I'm loving just finding these hidden gems tucked away, because they're not like doing mass internet sales. They just like old school go to like markets and flea markets and just sell their candles, and they enjoy the production level, and the prices are so modest. But Spire Side Candle is something I'm really excited to start talking about. They're a Disney-inspired candle company. There's many of them, but to me, they're really making dynamite stuff. I've been waiting to talk about them forever. And then there's a new company, and please look them up, and please let them know I sent you. But please jot this down. Get Fictional. I've talked about them. I made one video. They sent me a bunch of Christmas fragrances. I did film a video. I just didn't have a chance to edit it. I apologized to them, and I told them I'd make it up to them. But very small production candle company, and they've sent me a bunch of stuff, and I have nothing bad to say about any of it. But just like I said, make sure you let them know that I sent you, because this way they know that by sending me free candles. That's not like I'm trying to like, oh, give me free stuff. But I mean, this helps with the budget of my show. If I'm getting free candles in the mail and I create good relationships with these companies, especially companies that I really appreciate and admire, then it's really going to help save money. So I want them to know by them sending candles to me that you guys are seeing it. Again, the name is Get Fictional. All literature and some film themed candles. And they come in all different sizes. They have these little 4-ounce jars. So cool. And Leslie, how's Silver Moon? I'm so out of the loop with everything. But Leslie Pethybridge, definitely check out Leslie's Instagram as well. I have one of your candles burning, Leslie. This was Frankenstein. It just burns forever. I mean, I'm serious. Like, I don't know how much like you've tested, because these were some of like Leslie's like, can we call them prototypes? They were very early on when she started making candles. I don't know if you burned those, but man, like I had that Bela Lugosi. Thing lasts forever. But I spilled some of the wax and it got everywhere. But even still, it still lasted a long time. I've been burning a lot of Kringle. Yes. Kringle, Kringle, I know Kringle, the chemistry of Kringle has changed. Kringle, if we don't know, is the son of the founder of Yankee Candle, Mike Kittredge. Mike Kittredge III. His son is the owner of Kringle Candle. Worldwide distribution, but much more modest in size than Yankee, obviously. And I burned a lot of their fragrances years ago. But since they created their secondary label, Country Candle, I haven't burned Kringle. And it's not because I don't like the candles or I don't have anything about Kringle, but you can tell there's a little bit of a change in Kringle. Mike Kittredge III posted a bunch of ideas of Halloween-themed candles that he's like, how about this? And it just was so confusing because I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but he posted like the labels of these potentially possible candles. He just pulled like Getty images, like internet Googled images, pulled them off the internet and just photoshopped them on a Kringle label. I don't understand, was that a joke? But he had a lot of people excited about new Halloween candles and simply never happened. I just don't feel like Kringle, maybe it's because social media has grown so much, but Kringle didn't really, those candles, those concepts, and like the thing with the unicorn poop, there was a candle, unicorn poop, if anyone doesn't know, it just feels like there's a little bit of a different vibe with Kringle. I'm not saying anything about the quality of the candles, but I have nothing bad to say about Kringle. Just a little skeptical. I need to do some research, and hopefully everything is all right. How many people do we have in the house? There's 44 people watching in the house. And this is a great time for me to get serious for a second. So listen up, and if you have questions, I will answer more questions. But I want to get to this last topic that's in the headline. Oh crap! And I didn't even talk about the Starbucks contest. Jeez, is that why we have a thumbs down? But let me talk about my father real quick. So I said earlier on in the video I wanted to get personal and talk about my dad. My dad such an inspiration. I love I love my mother and father. My mother and father are high school sweethearts. They've had, to my knowledge, a very loving and happy marriage, and provided me with so much joy, and were always so generous. Even though they lived on a very modest budget when I was growing up. And they really were two kids in the middle of nowhere in the hometown that they grew up, and what they pulled off together was amazing. And I look at what my father has been through. He served in the Navy during the Vietnam War, and I was looking at pictures of him, when he was, stationed out in, Singapore and the Philippines or Japan. And I'm looking at like he's a kid. He's a kid. And, I don't know if you have anyone in your family who was through the Vietnam War, but my father was one of those who really kind of carried that baggage with him to current day. He's been through a lot, and those pictures really opened my eyes. And it just so happened that on the 17th was his birthday. Again, I just say I love my father, and he had been feeling sick during Christmas, and everything turned out fine, by the way. I don't want to scare anybody, but he had been feeling sick during Christmas, and so my mother calls me and says, "Oh, well, I'm taking your father to the emergency room." I'm like, is it because he's feeling, he had like pain in his chest and he was short of breath, and he spent his entire birthday in the hospital. He was there for 3 days. Apparently he has pneumonia, and he's had it for a while. But it's just this kind of weird synchronicity thing where there's 3 things: his birthday, my eyes, my mind just remembering how much he's been through in life and how much he's sacrificed and gave me as a child. And I remember one thing about my father is that he's like, if you think of John Wayne and like Ralph Cramden, maybe a little bit of Archie Bunker without the racism, you put them all together, that's my dad. He's an incredibly funny guy, but very, very determined, hard worker. His work ethic blows me away. And I don't mean to skip my mother too. My mother, same thing about my mom, but and I'll save a conversation about my mom another day. But I remember the first time I told him, he said, "What do you want to do?" When I was a child, I was like, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" And I told him I wanted to make movies. And I was fully prepared because, I grew up with 2 older brothers and dad, a lot of guys in the house. And so I was expecting, a sarcastic statement. And I remember, even though I was incredibly young, instead of any judgment or any negative words, I remember he was like working on like a weed whacker or something, and he wasn't looking at me directly, but he stopped what he was doing, and I told him I wanted to be a filmmaker. Keep in mind, my father and my mother were washing clothes in the bathtub when they first got married, so very humble beginning for them, and they had to go through a lot to raise us children. And I just remember the look on his face where I can't explain it, but his response to me wanting to be a filmmaker was, he didn't say anything. He didn't really show much expression, but I knew he was saying, "I think that's a good idea." And I kind of like the idea of my son being a filmmaker. Well, I'm not a filmmaker. I've worked on films. My brother is a filmmaker. But either way, I always still find myself behind the camera. Point is, my father's always supported my artistic efforts. My dad is not really an artistic guy, not really at all, but he's always supported me artistically. So I just wanted to give a shout out to my dad. Happy birthday. He watches the Candle Enthusiast. He loves watching my videos, seeing me, and reading all the comments that you guys leave. And he's had a really, really rough day, especially on a birthday that should be a celebration. and he was stuck in a hospital bed for several days. So, bottom line, if anybody, please don't feel pressure. Please, please. But I want to put it out there. That if anyone's got a little time and a dollar for a card or a postcard from the dollar store, and how much do stamps cost these days? If anyone finds themselves in the situation where they want to send my father, his name is John Kenneth, it would mean the world to him. Please don't feel pressured, dude. I'm not asking you guys to send my father a card. I'm just saying it would mean a lot to him. If anyone would like to do that. That was not the point of this speech. I thought that would be nice. So take it for what you will. I'm not being selfish. It's not like I forgot his birthday and now I'm trying to make up for it. But John Kenneth Carlson. What a man, what a man. Okay, so let's get on to this Starbucks contest. We're really deep into this live stream, aren't we? 90 minutes, an hour and a half, and this was the first thing on the list. I really have to have like a producer here telling me to speed things up or to move on to different topics. If you look at the thumbnail, you will see this, unless I change it later. This right here is a 100% Starbucks coffee bags. Yes, I have a problem. This is not over a course, sadly, over a course of 5 years. This is a year of coffee, but remember, every so often a cup or two is for a friend or a family member. But what's really great about Starbucks is not even, I mean, if you go to the grocery store, you'll find like not that they're not pretty looking, but the generic bags, they're silver, they kind of look like that. Pike Place is their signature coffee. But if you actually go to a Starbucks, they'll have limited run coffee beans. Like this was the 2017. So this goes back, I guess, 2 years now. 2 years of coffee bags. I said one, but this one got in there. But they have really, really pretty labels, or packaging. I just want to give you a better example. Just in case, you shop for or if you don't drink Starbucks, or if you shop Starbucks at your grocery store. I really wrap these up good, rubber band. But like, look at all these bags, right? This is terrible lighting. They're not this yellow. It's just the light I have. That's Stumptown. That's not supposed to be in there. Single origin. This is a Colombian, Kenyan, their Kenya coffee. Another single origin here. Where is this guy from? This is an African coffee. The point is, I have this. I just dropped one of my Yankee candles, and it's okay, because I have a very fluffy rug. But I have all these coffee bags with a lot of different designs. And I don't know if this is a really stupid idea or a brilliant idea, but I'm not a type to make a piece of artwork by cutting these up and stitching them together. That's not something I can do. But I just would imagine how great it would be if someone who's really artistic took these bags, cut them up, did anything, but essentially make a piece of art that's moderate in size, nothing massive, but something that's a good size that really displays the whole concept is the quantity of the coffee. And this is literally every Starbucks coffee bag that I've had personally in the past 2 years or so. I don't know why I say that. I think I love the packaging. But if anybody I will ship these bags to you. Now, this might be like, what are you talking about? I don't want these bags. I will ship these bags to you if anyone is confident in that they can make a cool piece of art, and what will be nice is I will put it up here for the lives on the wall somewhere. So that's kind of cool. If anyone feels confident where they could cut these things up or do, like I said, do something interesting. You know, there are a lot of people who do kind of the paper art these days that I think is great. What you can do is email me directly. This is what you have to do. Simple. Email me directly. Candle Enthusiast. Candle Enthusiast at yahoo.com. Candle Enthusiast at yahoo.com. If you forget it, it's in the description below. But write me an email, and in the comments or the subject, put TCE Starbucks and your name if you want, and just tell me in a couple sentences why you should be the right candidate for me to ship you these. Again, this is not like I'm sending you essentially garbage and I'm asking you to send it back, but I will pay to ship it, and I will reimburse you to have it shipped back. But I think that would just be kind of cool. I'm trying to mix things up, try to keep it very interactive, and I just don't want to throw this in the garbage, and I think it would be really cool to have a piece of artwork from one of you guys. So I might wait to announce who this is, probably next week. But I got to promote this again, because how many people are, well, 47 are watching. So and then all of the people who watch later, if they make it this far into the video, do it, but only do it if you really think you can make something special. Because if it comes back like a third grade art project, I don't know, I was pretty creative when I was in third grade, but if it comes back and it looks crazy, but I'm not judgmental, especially when it comes to art. But I really want this to go to somebody who really is going to take it as a challenge. Because I just want to see how creative you guys are. I love creative people. Gotta go. Good luck, whoever the winner might be, says Diane. Bye, Diane. I see Leslie's already interested. Carol says, too bad they're not fabric. They'd make for a great quilt, but you're on the right idea. Think about Project Runway, right? You can still stitch this material. So I don't want like a big sculpture, but if you know, like a stitching technique might actually be kind of cool. That's one thing I thought of, actually. Glad to see you back at Sunday Live. Shane says, Mia, great to have you. Yeah, I was telling everybody I was taking a little bit of break. I mean, Nicole's saying, I definitely can't do that. And Stephanie's saying, oh, amazing, I already have a good idea. So I see some interest there, so that's good. Just like I said, and did you guys notice that the one thumbs down disappeared? How does that happen? How does that happen? We had a thumbs down. Somebody was saying to make sure you hit the like button. Lou said, make sure you hit the like button. Please do that. If you're sitting there, hit that like button, and I'll tell you some more about candles. How about that? So Starbucks bags. Yeah. So that's interesting. I've been honestly thinking about this probably for a year, and I just kept forgetting to say it. Spent all of this time organizing them, and I just destroyed it. All right, anybody in the house, and trust me, I won't be upset. I won't be offended, but anybody in the house buy the limited edition Witch City Wicks Candle Enthusiast holiday box set. That is a mouthful. Did anybody actually drop the $24 plus shipping to get that box? I want feedback. I saw a lot of people posting pictures of it. But we're friends. We can be brutally honest. Laura says, I got it as a yes. Laura, I saw your video of you getting the gift. I mean, very easy on my part. But it looked like this. And I showed it a bunch of times, but I just hope I made it clear that because I gave one of these to my sister-in-law for Christmas, and she loves candles, but she's kind of like Yankee Candle, Bath and Body Works, and that's it. But she's got a great nose, and nothing wrong with Bath and Body Works and Yankee Candle, but I'm always trying to like, hey Monica, did you ever buy that Votivo candle that you were talking about? And I would love to see people like my sister-in-law get into one of these smaller companies, because like me, she really appreciates and admires small businesses and artists, and she got the box set, and we had a really great conversation about it. About the selection, and she is definitely, my sister-in-law, a fan for life of Witch City Wicks. And if you don't know already, Witch City Wicks, Salem, Massachusetts-based candle company. My good friend Liz Frazier sent me some gifts for Christmas, but with that, she sent me some of the own box sets. She asked me if I would pick 4 cents to put into a box set, to curate a box set, as she put it, and we limited these down to 50. Now, I talked to Liz yesterday, and I hadn't talked to her since before Christmas. I'm like, what happened with the box sets? Because the last time I checked in with her, there was like a handful left out of the 50. I was hoping that they would sell it like really quick. But a lot of you guys bought them and showed support, and she was so thrilled. And it's definitely going to lead to future collaborations with the Witch City Wicks. But she said she actually didn't sell the entire 50. I don't know how many she has left. I don't know. She has to be keeping count, because I said make sure it's limited to 50, because I wanted them to sell out. But apparently there's a few left. So if you're interested and you have never tried Witch City Wicks before, and you really want to branch out from the mammoth candle companies, hey, look, I have a very large Yankee Candle collection right there. I'm not gonna. I just screwed up everything. But I really enjoy smaller, handcrafted candle companies, because they're bold. They're coming from the heart. They're made by one person. There's no panel at Witch City Wicks. It's one person doing the whole thing, making the candle, designing the candle, the imagination of one person. And Witch City Wicks is by and large my favorite small batch candle company, handcrafted. If you really just want a taste of what this company is all about, and you want to really branch out to massively aggressive in both concept and in many cases aromatically, you want to branch out to a small candle company, I'm telling you, this really is a great way to do it. So buy those up, sell out the 50. I don't know how many she has left, but go to witchcitywicks.com. You get 4 samples of these. Are the ones that I picked for the holidays, and I think it kind of covers. It's a little bit something for everybody in here. These are 4 very different candles. But go to witchcitywicks.com, type in Candle Enthusiast in the search bar, it's $24. I don't know what she's charging for shipping. Maybe pick up like some wax melts to make it worth the shipping cost. I really, truly believe you won't be sorry. But definitely, I just want to see them sell out. I don't feel like it was a success until all 50 are sold. So my little plug for Witch City Wicks, and trust me, if anyone's thinking, oh man, how much is which City Wicks paying Shane to say all this? She's a friend. She makes really good candles, and she's really funny, and some of you guys have met her. She's just just a very intelligent, strong woman. So much so that I still get a little intimidated whenever I talk to her, because she's brutally honest and frank. That's what I love about her. Lou is saying it's sold out. So did it sell out? Can I celebrate? Did it really sell out? That's awesome. If it did, I'm sorry if I just promoted it and they're like, oh, I'm gonna go get one, and you can't get one now. Oh, okay. So, okay, it's. I'm trying to get your message, Eric. Oh, if it is open now, I know she closed the website because she needed her break herself. But I think the store is open. The site is open because she put out a big promotion of, and I told her I was going to bring this up. She has a line called the black candles. They come in these, they're right there. I just don't want to go off camera and dig for them unless it's right. No, I don't want to do it. But they come in these beautiful black tumblers, black wax. There's black leather. There's black apple. There's a black wolf moon version. I'm forgetting a few, but she's got this black collection. And Black Valentine. This is not a new candle, but she's keep in mind, she's grown in popularity probably almost 100% in a couple years. So any candle that's limited will sell out, especially with the look in a name like Black Valentine. I highly recommend, if that is not sold out, that you consider it. I kind of dropped a hint to Liz, like maybe she could send me one and I'll make a video. But I don't even own one myself, but I have smelled it, and it's quite lovely. It's quite lovely. So consider that. Black Valentine was perfection, says Lauren. So she even knows this. You're in trouble, Shane. Haha. What did I do? The black collection is the best. See, Lauren knows. Lauren I don't know if frequent is the right word, but has been to the shop in Salem. You're in trouble, Shane. But why am I in trouble, Nancy? What did I do? That sounds amazing. Only the black apple is available. Did it already sell out? She just posted. I'm telling you guys, this is what I'm talking about. Which City Wicks? Which City Wicks? This is a situation where in 3 years from now, we're going to be talking about candles that are going to be so scarce because it's a one-woman show. They're going to be so scarce. Because, I mean, her Halloween collection sold out, 14 minutes this year? Her whole Halloween collection. That's never happened before. I mean, certain candles have sold out, but not in 14 minutes. So she's just growing at such a pace where these candles are really going to be hard to find. And unlike the wine industry, see, in the wine industry, if there's scarce bottles of wine, they'll just hike the price. Liz, she hasn't done it yet. I wouldn't mind seeing her raise, cost up a couple dollars. But she's kind of stuck to, in my opinion, a very, very fair price for a beautiful candle that will give you hours and hours of an experience, a very, very poetic experience. And she's got tons of fragrances in her library. So definitely got the David Bowie tribute instead. You got the David Bowie? Stardust. This is when David Bowie passed away. Liz is a huge music fan and even bigger David Bowie fan. She wanted to make a candle to celebrate the life and work of David Bowie, and she released this candle called Stardust, and I never got one. I think she has it in the store. And there's a glitter on it. It's just wonderful. And when Tom Petty passed away, I said, Liz, where's my Heartbreaker Tom Petty candle? Yeah, it really does seem like I'm trying to like promote Witch City Wicks. I'm talking about Witch City Wicks. I'm drinking out of Liz's mug. I picked up her limited edition Richard Marx candle when we were at the shop in September. What am I missing? Tom Petty is playing in my room now. Good for you. Remind me one day, because we've already gotten serious already, but remind me one day, and hold me to this. Remind me to tell you the story about what happened. I'm not crying, I'm holding in a little burp. Remind me to tell you what happened to me, and what I did when I heard that Tom Petty, I thought he had passed away, but he hung on for quite a while, but they were reporting that he had passed away. I was right in the middle of filming a video right here, and I just turned off all the power and just went on a very long drive listening to Tom Petty. But something very I don't know how to say it. Something very special happened. I'm not an overly spiritual. I'm a spiritual person, but I'm not like a big believer in things. I just believe in very miraculous coincidences. But something happened to me on that day that was quite nice. Now I probably got you really interested in what I want to say, but hold on to the memories. Yes. Witch City Wicks stuff online January 25th. So is that what's going on? I think I'll have to try Witch City before it's possibly not her making them. Who knows? Good point. I'm just bad at interpreting what you guys are communicating. It's not your fault, it's my fault. And what's interesting is after Tom Petty had passed away, his daughter, if anyone's a Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers fan, his daughter, who doesn't work in the music industry, she found, what do they call it? A song, is it an outtake? A song that didn't make an album. It was, kind of like early 80s Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. It had that sound to it, but it was a track it didn't make it onto an album. And it was called Keep a Little Soul. And they released it about 6 months to a year after he passed away, with a music video with all of like his home movies of him and the Heartbreakers on the road when they were kids. And what's amazing is that not only is this song like a hit, like that it's a great song, and the Heartbreakers are playing their hearts out in that song. But what is just, it's not eerie, it's beautiful. That the song Keep a Little Soul, it's really like this little letter to the fans, or for me, because Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers is such a personal thing with me. I didn't really share my love for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. It was just kind of my thing, and You know, Tom Petty was with me since a kid. I mean, every day there was a Tom Petty song in my life playing on my radio or my record player, and it was this beautiful gift of a song that was dug up somewhere. That's this kind of like, you know, it's been fun taking a ride down the river. It's time for me to go, but it's okay. Just all you gotta do is keep a little bit of soul. And I just like, wow. And I swear to God, the end of the song on that track, because the Heartbreakers didn't mix. You know, they didn't have like this is the bass guitar, but they didn't have like the guitars, Mike Campbell or Ron Blair, the bassist, and like the drums. They didn't mix the music. They played live. So sometimes they would have to like play a song 1,000 times before they got the one perfect take. And at the end of this take on the song, he says, after like the music comes to the end in the original recording, he goes, "That was fun. Tom Petty, that was fun." Kind of just saying goodbye to everybody. God, I live for these moments. What an angel, or better yet, what a king Tom Petty was. Super, super off topic, but man, have to. Still, it's been how long since Tom Petty's left? I'm still makes me my heart ache every day. Off topic, says Stephanie. There's a website called Slayer's Apothecary that has Buffy the Vampire Slayer perfume oils. I thought Horror Queen may be interested next time you can get yourself a treat. That's interesting. Screenshot of that. I'll take a look at that. Does she make Nagachampa roll-on? I don't think she does. She does roll-on perfumes is what Horror Queen Laura is talking about. I don't know, but maybe she does. I don't know. I'm just a candle person. Like I don't even buy like the wax melts. To me, it's all about wick and flame. When it comes to my personal interest, and I've never been I don't put scent on me. I don't do that. And Rachel brings up a good point. They're probably available in the store. A lot of things are available in the store that are not available on the website. And trust me, you'll if you go in there and you're looking for something specific, she's got some really good treats in the back. Things that are retired, things that never really made it on the shelf, but are just such great relics. Okay, so Morgan's saying Black Valentine, January 25th, so it's not sold out. It's just not available yet. And Nancy saying, Laura, I live in Wolf Moon. Wolf Moon is, man, Liz and I really talked about that candle, and I kind of slipped that out of my mouth. I wasn't really thinking about it, but I said it like, it's a very masculine scent. She's like, masculine? Wolf Moon is totally feminine. And I'm like, I love this conversation because masculine, feminine is such a subjective thing, and I'm always saying masculine, feminine, and I really shouldn't. But she said it's the most popular fragrance for body oil or roll-on or whatever. Yeah, it's heavy. It's a musky candle, right? Yeah, it's really musky. Right now I have Wolf Moon or Wolfsbane, Kringle's Wolfbane on my brain. Spray is such a good scent. You guys don't mind that we're just kind of hanging out. I'm gonna answer your questions for a little bit. I hope that's okay. Tonight is the Super Blood Wolf Moon. It is. It's the first Oh God, has it been a year already? I said I was gonna do it last year. The first, so Wolf Moon is the first full moon in January. And it's tonight. I gotta get the candle now and show you. Now remember, there's two versions. It comes in the black collection, and then it comes in, I don't want to say standard jar, but, or tumbler. Or jar, it's a jar. Woo! Yeah. You guys tell me. Now Liz is the type where she doesn't burn other candle companies' candles. And she wasn't really a big candle person before she started making candles, but she's been making candles forever. But what's astonishing is the resemblance of these two candles. Again, it's this yellow light. I apologize for that, but these have very strong purple or black on purple labels. This one is Wolfsbane by Kringle Candle, retired in 2014, only in production for 2 years. Try finding this by Daria. It took me a long time to get my hands on a few of these. And then Wolf Moon, this is the Witch City Wigs candle. And because they look the same, both have wolf on the name, I sometimes get the two of these candles mixed up. Because this Kringle candle is, I've never did a review of it or an evaluation, but check out Hauling Wax or Spooky Villages, Doug. I sent him one. Woo, yeah, that's musky. But see, that's, I don't know, man. I would still say this is, I mean, if a woman was wearing this, it wouldn't be like, oh God, gross. But I would still classify this as masculine. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. I'm just not familiar with perfume. Which makes sense, because I don't wear perfume. I don't wear cologne. But it has, like, this is a bold statement. If you wore this fragrance, so it's there's earthy, there's floral notes, it's bright, so something that's gonna probably some form of citrus that's gonna lift this up, but there's a big floral muskiness, or white musk. I'm always saying white musk or floral musk. All this really means is it's like a very strong baby powder scent. And it's dangerous when you use that white musk because it can be, a lot of people have the association with it reminds me of grandma. Not that grandma smells bad. I like the way my grandmother used home fragrances in her house. But this is definitely earthy green, strong floral musk, bright. It's just one of those things where it's like, when you smell it, I don't break it down in pieces. There's something about Witch City Wigs candles that when I smell them, I just think of the sum of the parts. It's actually really hard for me to dissect Witch City Wigs candles because they're so well balanced. So Wolf Moon, today is Wolf Moon. I had to show that. See, where this, the Wolf's Bane Kringle is more of like this strong dandelion milk floral muskiness. It's musky as heck, but it's more of like, you pop the head off the dandelion, or if you ever, made the little curly cues with the dandelion, the gooey substance inside that dandelion, or if you just want to say, something very clawing like lily, you could say lily of the valley, but more like a stargazer lily. I'm trying to cover all the bases for it. Or not gardenia, but that clawingly powerful, sweet floral smell. I I really like this candle. I really like this candle. I know some people I don't know if they despise it, but they don't. I just sent one. I sent two of them to someone who, was it Germany? Really nice fellow who wanted two, and I forgot that I actually had two listed on eBay, and he purchased them. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't know I had them listed, so I sent them, and he really wasn't a fan. It didn't sound like he was. Ooh, Sammy. That's a good point. I wonder what the snow will look like under the blood moon. Ooh. See, don't say that because I'm supposed to not be going out of the house today, but when you say something like that, it makes me think like, oh, I gotta get bundled up, go outside with my camera and get footage tonight. Rachel, can you tell me what you think of witching hour? Let me grab it. Where did I put it? Where did I put it, Rachel? Do you know? Here it is. I'm not kidding. I haven't counted them, but I think I have 20 unburned Witch City Wicks candles on my shelf here, which I just organized, and now I just messed it all up. Witching hour, which is other than the Sea Witch candle that sold out instantly. This is the newest fragrance, and I love it. I love the label design. Again, I mean, it's not like, oh, look at everything that's going on. Let me show you a difference. Let me show you something. And I'll answer your question in a second, Rachel. So, let's see. Okay, so, minimalism. Minimalism, in most cases, with Witch City Wicks on their labels, except for the Halloween labels. But I love it. And trust me, she spends so much time designing these labels. And the more minimalistic they are, the more critical she is on herself. So I'll smell that in a second, but I want to show you the stark opposite of minimalism. Here is a Spireside candle. Look at this label. I know that's going to be a soft focus, but this is a Neverland Peter Pan themed candles. And the artist who did these limited series candles actually works, well, he doesn't work for the Walt Disney Company, but he has worked for them, and he's contracted to do certain things. And then they had that big convention in New York City. If Nicole is still here, he was there. It was the 90th, I think, Mickey's 90th. They had a big kind of exhibition for Mickey Mouse in New York City, and he was there, and I wanted to go down and meet him and talk to him and convince him to do Candle Enthusiast. Jeff Granita, look him up on YouTube or Instagram. Witching Hour. Gotta go. Peace out. Bye-bye, Nikki. There's just a lot going on. So, first thing I noticed is like patchouli, right? So I know a lot of people. There's enough patchouli in here, even if someone who doesn't like patchouli can't detect patchouli. I think there's enough in here that might be like, there's something in that I don't enjoy. People who really just despise patchouli. But also, what's a good word? What's a good word? This is why I have to edit my evaluations. a good word, because there's a very, not musky floral, but a good adjective. I would have to work on that. But there's a strong floral smell that okay, we'll put that aside for a second. I mean, I can list a bunch of potent flowers, but just take it for what you will. There's a big floral, but there's a creaminess underneath it, which a lot of candle companies, this is what they miss. They don't hit all of the frequencies. There's a softness, there's a creaminess to this. It's as if someone put like some whipped cream in here, soft serve, vanilla ice cream. And that's going to take that aggressive floral and like the stem, the green notes, tone it down, and then that patchouli, the earthiness of the patchouli. And citrus, man. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what's a good one. I could probably go bergamot. But I don't know. I don't think Liz uses bergamot a lot. Some form of citrus, maybe lime, or some kind of citrus accord. And is the zest. Again, this is why I have to edit my videos, guys. Bottom line for me, because you asked my opinion, it's not about the individual pieces. For me, it's just when you smell something like this, it's called the witching hour. It just, you feel like you're in Salem. It definitely puts you in the right state of mind. You feel like you're walking into some gift shop or fortune teller's parlor, a magic shop, a costume shop. You feel like you've been somewhere. It smells like a place where they promote and practice magic. I hope I'm not offending anybody, but you know what I mean? Like when you walk into, I don't want to say head shop, but you walk into any, shop in Salem, and it's just, it smells like a costume store. Maybe costume store isn't necessarily correct. I want to go back to magic shop. Think about what a magic shop would smell like. Incense, sweet smoke, and definitely in this case some floral and earthy notes. But again, where this succeeds for me is that creaminess, because that's a very powerful floral smell. Nicole is taking off. Very seductive candle. Seductive is a good word. Seductive. Like if I had to give this another name, poison ivy. How about that? Poison ivy. That's probably not too original. And I don't mean like poison ivy like the Batman character. But it just has a seductive yet very earthy garden green, earthy woodiness to it. Ooh, it's like, I like dry down on a fragrance. What is it? What is like the dry down? Yeah, so dry down, I'm glad, I love it. I love it when people use this terminology, because I don't, I can address it without trying to like explain it. Dry down, the best example of that is, it's usually used in essential oil, but mainly the perfumery industry. And to demonstrate it, I know a perfumer who's incredible, very knowledgeable, and she put a drop of this certain kind of perfume, essential oil, a blend that she had made. I forget the name of it. But she told me to smell it after about 15 minutes, not right when it went on. And I kind of explained to her what I was smelling. And I was like, I said, getting a lot of like grapefruit notes and again, more like beach flowers, lavender, jasmine, stuff like that. And then she said, come back tomorrow. I was in her shop. She said, come back tomorrow and we'll smell it again. I'm like, I'm gonna shower tonight, so I'm not gonna have this little sample on my hand. She's like, come back tomorrow and we'll smell it. I'm like, I told her, I am gonna shower and I'm gonna wash my hands. But I did come back the next day, and yeah, to my surprise, 24 hours later, after a shower, after several washing of the hands, the scent was still on my skin, and it had changed. Now, dry down happens in a shorter period of time, other than 24 hours. It can happen like in 15 minutes, but it's when the top notes kind of blow off, and then you really start seeing the underbelly of the fragrance. So there's kind of a beginning, a middle, and an end when you're talking about high quality, or at least perfumes, colognes that go to great extent to be a great product. It changes, it evolves, and dry down is that process of when the top notes, because the top notes are what you kind of smell right away, but it's the first part to kind of fade, and you're kind of left with the base notes. So when I went back the next day and I smelled that little sample she put on my hand, I said, this smells like sea salt. This smells like the ocean. This smells like, and I was still getting a little bit of that lavender and jasmine. I'm like, this is incredible. It's completely different. And that grapefruit had just changed. It just had changed. It hadn't gone away, but it changed. And she's like, there you go. This is what I do. This is my art, is making these perfumes. And man, let me tell you, I mean, I had very large respect for perfumers before that, but I was really impressed. Okay, and Rachel's agreeing with me. Yes! Exclamation point 3 times. I feel the same way. It's like one of my favorites, The Witching Hour. Reminds me of those stores. Thanks, Shane. Anytime, Rachel, anytime. And Shonda says, a bit wilted, maybe. Wilted? Oh, yeah. And by wilted, kind of a little bit of oxidation to that flower. And then it drying out, right? When a wilted flower, it's going to dry out, but that concentrates the aroma, right? It gets the aroma changes, but it also gets really concentrated. Dried florals. I would be very happy to say dried florals, but there's still I would still say this is a fresh floral too. You can do both. All right, so how are we doing, folks? This has been fun for me. I'm snowed in. We had a pretty big audience today, especially on a big Super Bowl day. And if anyone's wondering, throw us any last minute questions if you have it, but if anyone's wondering if I'm burnt out, I'm leaving YouTube, sayonara, I'm not making any more videos. Shane's been gone since December. He was supposed to put out all these videos for the holiday season this season, and he didn't really come. I don't know if any of you guys are saying it. Some of you have to be saying that, but I'm definitely saying it to myself. I'm very critical, or I'm very hard on myself. It's not a flaw. It's just, I think it's how I function. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not giving up. I'm just trying to. 2 years is a long time for me, because I tend to do a lot of different things in my life. try this, I'll move on, I'll try this, I'll move on. 2 years is a big chunk of time, and I'm just getting to the point where I'm like, I love putting my videos on YouTube and creating, finding all of you lovely people, and I mean that. It's just, all I'm thinking is, why have I not been doing this? Why wasn't I doing this 10 years ago? But after 2 years, and just understand that it's I'm really trying to be introspective and find out. Eric says this to me all the time. He's probably really annoyed that I always bring this up. I love you, Eric. I don't know if Eric's still here, but he says, just do what you want to do is regarding your videos. Whatever, if you don't want to do candles anymore, I'm like, no, I don't want to do candles. But he's, he knows that I want to do travel-based videos, not just sit down and talk about candles. I need to find, and I put a lot of thought into this, and I'm prepared to start again, but I need for the channel to evolve. I just not sure my place is sitting down at a table talking to you for 10 minutes about what I smell. I think I can bring to you, create for you, much more insightful, entertaining videos. If I spend 12 hours editing one candle evaluation, that's right, 12 hours. I'm not bragging about that. If I'm spending that much time editing one candle, why am I not making more profound videos, small documentaries, doing different series, different, like I did Living Enthusiastically last spring. It was supposed to be a 10-part series about the state of my health, and I was going to show how I was changing my diet and all my symptoms that I have, and I was just going to be an open book and share it all, but it wasn't working. Not that I ever won't try it again, but it just wasn't working, and I had to stop it. But I was striving to find something different, keeping it new, trying new things. So I'm not giving up the Candle Enthusiast. I'll always talk about candles, but for me, I need to branch out to a much larger spectrum. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be more satisfied with producing this kind of content. Instead of talking about a village candle, village candle out of Maine, they've invited me to come up to the manufacturing factory, and I couldn't make it this year. Money, couldn't do it. That is how I'm going to make the Candle Enthusiast different. I'm going to try to just kick it up a couple notches, and try to make little mini videos, and branch away from candles. Aromatic Adventures is something I came up with almost a year ago. I just like the idea of doing a travel-based show, being on the road, and kind of doing an anti-travel channel videos instead of a host who's so mechanical, like on the Travel Channel. If anyone works for the Travel Channel, I apologize, but the shows are always so formulated and mechanical, and it feels anything but organic. I want to make videos where I'm like, no, this is not the Travel Channel, it's just me and you, and we're going to experience this amusement park, this museum, this little piece of history, discovering things that we've always wanted to know, that we kind of neglect to, things that, questions that we have that we neglect to question, and always keeping aroma as the compass. It's a very hard thing to come up with this idea, while trying to keep it funded so I can actually pull it off, to keep myself traveling, to organize it, to make sure that I am not sinking in my own personal life. I have to keep myself alive and feed myself, and and try to regulate the amount of work that I put on my shoulders. But all I'm trying to say is, because of my absence, don't look at it as me saying bye or laziness. Look at it as I'm working on evolving, changing, growing, taking things in new directions. But with that said, having this break has been really helpful. Most of our lives are not set up this way, where you can step away from what you're doing. Let's say if you're going to school and you're like, I need a month off. You can't. If you have your job and you I need a month off of my job, you can't. We don't have that option in life. But when it comes to art, when it comes to things that are in your personal life, things that you're really passionate about, and sometimes it's just my opinion, it's really good to step away. So let's say if it's art, step away from your art, and keep it in the back of your mind. Think about it a little bit every day, but don't put the weight on your shoulders. And then when you come back in a month, bam, things make sense. You're able to use your critical eye on your own work. It's a disconnect that I think is crucial to the artistic process. And struggling artists, I think one of the reasons why they struggle is because they're in it all of the time, pushing 100% all of the time, and they never give themselves a chance to step away. So that's if you're an artist, or you can apply this to anything that you're interested in, that's my advice. If you have a chance, if you have the opportunity, in this case, I'm the boss of the Candle Enthusiast. If I needed a month off, I could take it, and I did. And it was sad because I lost a lot of subscribers, and I know that you guys were waiting for a lot of my videos, so it was not something that was an easy choice to make. But ultimately, it just made me excited to come back with fresh eyes, rested eyes. My mind is rested, and we're just gonna grow. We're just gonna grow. And lots of big news that will be trickling in 2019. Really some fun things. Let me plug a few things before we wrap things up, and we'll end on a fun note. Make sure that wow, I lost a lot of viewers with that little speech. Make sure that what was I going to say? Make sure you watch. Make sure that, subscriptions for this channel is so important, so important. Why is it important? We need 1,000. Once we get 1,000 subscribers, I promise, I don't care. We can keep it at 1,000, but we just need to get this channel at 1,000 subscribers, and that's it. 1,001, and that's it. We'll be good. Because YouTube and their policies really restrict me from receiving any kind of benefit from doing this. I sat down here with you today, and it was my pleasure for an hour. It's an hour and 50 minutes already, and like I said, it's always a pleasure to sit down. But we could be hanging out, and Google or YouTube could be paying us not a lot, but it'd be a couple dollars, and every penny counts when it comes to this channel growing, because this has to be self-funded. This has to be a self-funded project. The Candle Enthusiast, Aromatic Adventures, and this live channel, which really doesn't cost any money, but this is a great way for us to communicate, strengthen our communication. So make sure that spread the word. If you're on social media and there's any way, maybe I'll repost something and try to help Shane get a few subscribers. It's so important. We're in this together. So that's that. And in this description below, there's plenty of ways, if, and only if you are in a position where you can help finance the show. I'm talking like a few dollars. I'm not talking about $50. If you want to become a Patreon member or a patron, that's one way. If you want to keep it anonymous, you could just donate 50 cents to directly to the Candle Enthusiast PayPal account. Again, just not a lot of money. Maybe more than 50 cents if you want to go at it, but keep it small, keep it affordable. And Amazon wish list. I received actually a couple Christmas gifts from my Amazon wish list. It's there. It's in the links in the description. I didn't think anybody checked this thing out, but I actually received a few items, and something small, like so I don't even know who it was. They introduced themselves, but I don't know who it is on YouTube. They sent me a GoPro battery, not a GoPro, but a battery, a rechargeable battery. Those things are like $50. But my point is, I mean, there's other things there like gaff tape. Do I have gaff tape? Gaff tape is this. This costs $5, but do you know how much gaff tape I use? So again, I have to do this to be a responsible YouTuber, and what I mean by that is I have to plug and promote myself. Doesn't mean I have to like it, but that's what I have to do. Witch City Wicks, let's sell out those box sets, please. And another shout out to Viter Energy. That was a fun little taste test. Thank you if you're watching. Let's do a screenshot. I'll send them that screenshot for providing those mints. Amazon or goviter.com. Not a sponsored video, I have to say that. Otherwise, I'll be demonetized by YouTube. Is that it? That's it. I think that's it. That's it. Subscriptions. Fund the show. How about this? Subscription boxes. How about in the future? I have subscription boxes on Patreon. They're pricey. But the idea is like PBS. You know how you spend like $100 to get like 2 CDs and a DVD on PBS? You're like, why are they charging me $100? Because you're really just pledging money. You're not really buying. They're sending the CDs and DVDs as a gift. I have the Candle Enthusiast subscription boxes. A mini, the regular, the standard, and the deluxe. And very pricey, very pricey. And I see that Nancy's here, and she gets a subscription box. I'm doing my best, Nancy, to keep them original and excited. But what I really want to do for in the near future is work on making the boxes much more affordable. If you look at the prices, they're pretty steep. Again, it's because it's really more of a pledge. But I'm trying really hard to make it more affordable, hopefully by bringing the price down and increasing the amount of people who are part of the Candle Enthusiast subscription box will make up the difference. So I need to lay down the groundwork to make that happen. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Send me emails. I'll get them. You know, it's just funny because I know as soon as I end, I'm like, I should have said this. The Starbucks bags. Email me, candleenthusiast@yahoo.com. All right, folks. Nancy saying, I love my subscription box. Awesome. Cassettes rock. I think cassettes rock too. So Leslie said this. Shane, I will like to donate candles to you for the future boxes. We'll talk. So we will talk. But this is exactly what my plan, that's my plan. I want to work directly. I would be happy to work with you directly, Leslie. We'll talk, but I'll be happy to work. And I think that's how we're going to make these subscription boxes, is that, because right now what I do is I just smell a bunch of candles and people send me candles. I evaluate them or I don't evaluate them. And then I get to know the people who are a part of this subscription box. As a subscription box member, I get to know them. Like I know Nancy, like, so we communicate. So I try my best to customize each box for each person. There's not just candles, but little like trinkets that I find on the road. Like, I remember one time I found like a little like whittled figure in like a really awesome, perfect boutique thrift shop, and I'm like, this is great. This is great. This is so personal, and this is one of a kind. One of my favorite things was, I think my first Halloween subscription box, I sent a little jar of leaves, pine needles, and crushed up pine cones from the actual Sleepy Hollow, New York cemetery, the cemetery from that location. That cost me nothing, but it's so special because you have a little jar of Sleepy Hollow, and you can, that smell will always be inside that jar. So it's a fun project, but I want to get more people involved. So check out patreon.com. There are slots open for subscribers. Just know that the subscription box will probably be changing in the near future. I don't know where the conversation's gone, but then again, I don't know where my conversation has gone. I just don't want to say goodbye to you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining, everybody, especially if you hung out all this time. I really appreciate it, guys. Not only is this a very therapeutic thing for me, this is actually really fun for me to do these lives. And on that note, I should have probably said this first. I know Smell It Sunday is a weekly live show. And it's been fun, but again, things are changing, things are evolving, and there might come a time when there will come a time where we won't have a live every Sunday. I'm getting tired of saying like Candle or Aromatically Speaking, or not Aromatically Speaking, but Smell It Sunday postponed. It's not postponed. I'm not doing it. Mainly because I want there to be some kind of anticipation. There's only so much. I mean, today's a perfect example. I've been talking for 2 hours. I mean, how much can you guys listen to me talk? I want to make sure that if I go live, that I have a show for you. I want it to be more of a podcast, a radio show. I want to do fun, very, not scripted, but, not so random live videos, and just not do it so often. So if you don't see me on a particular Sunday, I got to figure out how to do this and announce it so you guys will expect me or not expect me. But I think more or less I'm just going to come up with a new schedule for Smell It Sunday. I'll always do spontaneous lives, and I'll be doing more of them. So just randomly I'll go live from a fun place or something, talk about a random topic. But as far as Smell It Sundays, and look at this. So Lauren said I usually always work Sundays, so I can never make it. So that's a perfect thing. A lot of people are like that, I worked in hospitality for a lot of years, and in hospitality, you work the weekends. Nobody, unless you're the manager, you don't have the weekends off. And so I just want to, where's the village candle? Yeah, Wells, Maine. I just want to give you guys a heads up. The schedule for the lives are different. And then here's your little prize. If you stuck around this long, here's your little prize. So we're going to leave off on a fun note. With much thought, with much consideration, with a lot of me changing my mind, going back and forth, trying to be decisive, trying to make the perfect choice. It may or may not be perfect, but I think I finally made a decision regarding a very important thing about me being on YouTube. My main channel, the Candle Enthusiast, that has always been my channel. It's my main channel. And then we have this lovely second channel. I love it. Aromatically speaking, I love this. I love the fact that I can go live and talk about anything, and I always have you guys as an audience. Not all of you, but there's always an audience to speak to. But I want a place where I can post a channel, only my best work. You know, sometimes I say, why do I put so much effort into like one candle evaluation? I can make a quick video and whip it together real fast. I can do it in one take. And maybe just kind of clip out these gaps in between my words. But I want things to look professional. I don't want to dirty up my channel with not well-crafted videos, because it's my portfolio. When I go to places and say, hey, let me film here at your inn or your amusement park, your museum, I have to impress these people, show them that I'm this competent video maker. So I don't want to post poorly made videos. So the solution to this is, I think I'm going to be starting a third channel. The Candle Enthusiast will stay, candle evaluations, candle talk, and maybe now I can do a little bit more because I won't be so serious about posting perfection in my eyes. I can just do more casual videos, get you more videos on a weekly basis. But then we have this live channel where we can go live anytime we want, from anywhere we want. But then we're going to be a third channel that is essentially going to be me building up my best work, and only my best work will be posted on this new channel. And as a bonus to that, those of you who have watched a lot of my old videos, the way I'm going to launch this channel, I won't tell you the name of the channel, but the way I'm going to launch this channel is I'm going to do audio commentaries for all of my favorite travel shows. My Sleepy Hollow, my the Norman Rockwell experience. Is that it? No. All my travel shows, or me just being a fool. All of the ones that people are like, oh, that was my favorite, why don't you do more like that? I'm going to do audio commentaries for all of them. It's so easy, and it would be a pleasure for me to do this. But I never want, again, I didn't want to dirty up the Candle Enthusiast with videos that people may not like. But if I have a new channel, I can do whatever I want. And that'll give you guys an incentive to go over to the third channel. I'm going to have 3 YouTube channels. This is not... It doesn't sound like a good thing, but I think it has to happen, and I think it's the right choice. I could be the completely wrong choice, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and there's also going to be a website. Candleenthusiast.com. If you don't worry about perfection on the channel, why not just do all of the lives on the Candle Enthusiast, especially if you have less content? Then you can monetize at least, and get super chats. Well, super chats is a little weird. Super chats can be perceived. If I'm saying this is not a sponsored video, but people are pledging money, that could be a problem, right? Like if I go to, say, Disneyland and I do a live video, or and people start throwing me super chats, I'm using Disneyland to make money. That could be a very sticky situation. So that's just one reason about this. Super chats are just dangerous. They're dangerous. I like the idea, but they are dangerous, and you have to be careful. But your question is, why not just make them all live? That's not my thing, man. That's not my thing. I would love one day, hopefully it'll happen soon, sit down and have a chat with you, and really, I'll spill my guts. I do it with all my friends about like why I just don't do this. Why don't I just post a video every day? Just pick one candle, film a video, good or bad, just post it. I can't do it. Other YouTubers who talk about candles, too many to mention. some very opinionated people, and it's very useful. It's a tool. When people review a product, it's very useful when you're purchasing. But I don't like to think of my videos as me saying, buy this or don't buy this. It doesn't matter what I think. What's important to me with the Candle Enthusiast, and my goal the entire time, is to help spread my mission of helping people appreciate aromatics. Not home fragrance, but aromatics. I want my videos to give you context, to put you in the state of the mind, in the right state of mind, to say, let's talk about this candle witching hour. I could sit here, talk about witching hour, snow, funny stuff behind me, but that doesn't put you in the mood to talk about this candle. That was the brilliance behind Bob Ross. What did he have? He painted it in the dark, black studio. Because again, minimalism. But I don't want to do that. I want to do the opposite of that. I want to set the tone to help you experience, because to create smell-o-vision, we need to stimulate your thoughts, memories, emotions. We need to get you there for me to communicate on how a candle smells. I can just list things. I could say, oh, it smells like Southern Hemisphere elephant plums, exotic fruits that you never heard. You don't know what that smells like. But if I can use my filmmaking and storytelling, if I can put my best foot forward, I can help describe to you the candle in a different way than just the things that I'm smelling. Do I achieve this all the time? I don't. But I always try to put my best foot forward. Instead of me being in here talking about a candle that's called River Stone. River Stone, I think I have a candle called River Stone. Yes, by Village Candle, River Stone. Why am I here? Let's go out to the river and pick up some river stones. Let's show the solitude of the candle. The way it makes me feel when I smell that candle. Where does it bring me? Well, I want to show it to you. So I'm setting the bar really high for myself, because I'm not a reviewer. I'm not trying to convince you to buy it or not buy it. I just want you to, with me, experience the candle. And I just want to do it through the visual medium. And that has always been the goal. I mean, you give me a candle and it might smell gross, and I would dig it. So my opinion doesn't matter. I'm just a freak when it comes to aromatics. I love smell. I love bad smells. I love good smells. I just love my sense of smell. It's a passion I always have. So my opinion doesn't matter. What matters is what you enjoy. And if I make a video and you want to go where you want to go with me on that journey in that video, if you're in the mood, I set the tone, and if you're digging that tone and you want to recreate that experience for yourself, then by all means you can buy that candle. But if you watch a video but I don't want to put myself in a tropical environment, that's I don't like bugs, and then this way I'm again it's evaluating the candle, and trying, first and foremost, keeping it, make sure that first, before anything, that I'm making entertainment. I want it to entertain. Bob Ross. I'm not a big painter. But why do I keep, for all my life, I still watch Bob Ross when I'm drinking my coffee in the morning. Why? What was his genius? He's just a man painting pretty much the same thing every show. He's painting the same thing every show, but just fascinated by how much at ease he puts me. And Mr. Rogers, when we were a kid, right? Mr. Rogers, we talked about Pee Wee Herman, Pee Wee's Playhouse. So I'm not comparing myself to Mr. Rogers' Pee Wee's Playhouse, but I want to make sure that my shows are looked at as entertainment. You know, sometimes people will send me a comment message like, why haven't you done this candle? Do this candle yet? And I don't care. I mean, you can be rough with me. I'm all right. You know, Uh, I think I have pretty thick skin. Soft hands, but thick skin. I do have very soft hands. But I'm not here to report the news. I don't want to do that. That's why I didn't do Yankee Candle spring lineup. I gotta get away from who's gonna put out the video first. Who's gonna put out the video? I don't care. You know, I don't want to report the news. To me, that is what YouTube does to you. You know, you get so thirsty for views and subscribers that you start doing things that weren't the plan. And you just have to remind yourself, if you are a YouTuber, or you have your own channel, or if this applies to your life in any other way, you can't let the hunger guide what you're trying to produce. This has been this takes the award for the most random live Smell It Sunday. I don't know if it's the amount of coffee I had today, but I feel like right now I could do another 2 hours. I won't. Wait a minute. It's been more than 2 hours. It's been 170 minutes. Holy moly. Well, I'm gonna not watch the whole live, but I am going to rewatch this later, go through all your comments. I love doing that, like everything, all the chat notes that I missed. And Gabe is joining us at the perfect time. And I'll answer Gabe's question. Why not? We're already at 2 hours and 40 minutes. Check this out. This was a candle that I evaluated a while ago. Can you see that? It's overexposed. But it's a little Tootsie Roll woman. Tootsie Roll with a face, big luscious lips and a skirt. It's called Morning Toots. Morning Toots. This is a candle produced by a very small production candle company called Earth Candle. And I still say, even as small as this candle is, small as the company is, still one of the best chocolatey, fudgy coffee is the key word, candle I've ever smelled. I don't know what it is, but people just can't nail coffee candles. They just can't. It just ends up smelling like hazelnut creamer, or chocolate. But she had the insight to make a Tootsie Roll candle. It smells like a Tootsie Roll, but it smells like if you put like a Tootsie Roll flavored creamer into your morning coffee. Morning Toots, you get it? Tootsie Roll Toots. So I learned to paint because of Bob Ross. Leslie, I think I saw a couple posts of you painting on Instagram. I never used to work with color. Now I kind of sat down for a month. Again, I tell you, I do a lot of things in my life, and I just said 1 month I'm going to sit down and that's it. I'm going to learn, because I've always been a pencil and paper, grayscale artist, sometimes charcoal, but I'm like, I need to start working with color. And I tried oils, I tried acrylics, I tried markers, I tried color pencils, and color pencils definitely what I enjoyed the most. And it really is a form of painting. It's really, to me, it's very much similar to painting color pencils. And like, you think of color pencils and you think of grade school, but man, that's so not the case. And then using paint thinner, you can even blend the color. I got to do some more artwork is what I need to do. But Leslie says, I'll have to send you my coffee candle, Shane. Yes, please do. We got to chat. A lot of us need to chat. Nancy remembers that. Not only do you remember that video of Morning Toots, but you said, aren't they in Las Vegas? Nancy, you have the memory. I don't know how to say it, but your memory is amazing. Yeah, I think they were from Las Vegas. Why don't you try a series, I think you mean, of new videos or travel series related to Bob Ross? It's interesting. There's a lot of things about Bob Ross that people don't know. Do you know he was in the why am I? It's such a brain fart right now. I was just talking a mile a minute, and I can't think what the Marines, the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force. Whew, he was in the Air Force. Bob Ross, and the whole reason why he had the hair was because he was so broke when he first started the show that he just went and got a perm. And he had to keep it because that became his signature. His hair didn't look like that, but he had to keep the perm all throughout, like the 15 years he produced that series. But he lived in Alaska for a long time, and he was, from, if I had to guess, I would imagine a very, very intelligent person, even though he speaks so calmly that even a 4-year-old can understand what he's saying during his videos. I think in many ways he knew exactly what he was doing. He was a military man, that is for sure. He was great with little animals. Yes. I never really understood his fascination with squirrels, and I didn't really agree sometimes that he always had these like wild animal. I mean, he would let them go, but I guess he would aid like injured baby squirrels. Hey, and birds. You're right, and birds. Happy trees. What brush did most commonly Bob Ross use to paint happy trees? Like, say, like a pine tree. What is the name of the brush? All right. I'm gonna have another mint. He worked with a woman in Florida. Yeah, so that's what's interesting. It's like he lived in Florida. I don't know if he was from Florida, but if you watch like all of his shows, and there's so many, because he had so many shows over the course of the decade plus he was on the air, he always mentioned like, oh, once I lived in Alaska. Once I was in Alaska. But what was he doing there? And why was he living in Alaska? Like, I mean, there could be many reasons, but it's just, I don't know. It's like almost fan brush. Leslie, according to my list, she got it first, but Nancy coming in second. All right, this has been fun. Love you guys. Thanks for joining. Be a little bit patient with me as we get through the month of January. But you're going to be seeing a whole lot more of me soon. Hope you don't mind. Lots of pre-Christmas content that I will be finishing up, that I'll be posting. So I hope you don't mind watching Christmas content in February, because that's what you're going to get. But I'll also be producing new stuff. And I promised new episodes of In-Betweens. And I'm working on a way to do that. Because I have a lot of old footage. So that's all coming. Karen, you missed like 15 hours. 15-hour live stream. All right, guys, have a great Sunday. And I will be talking to you soon. Signing out. This is always the